Hi, this is Sayak Das. I am the Chief Brand and Innovation Officer at Airo Digital Labs. Globally, I would see again this is a trend. Earlier, the priorities were much different. Even if 2 years back, people were thinking of digital implementation or digital intervention more as a cost optimization options or being more productive or improving the efficiency. But post COVID world, what we have seen is that customer retention, being more resilient, figuring out new revenue channels, these are of higher priority today compared to just a cost optimization perspective, right? So organizations across the globe and specifically in India, and we have tested this out during the COVID vaccination rollout, how to be more regulatory compliant, how to reach out to people, how to manage these huge 1.3 billion people getting vaccinated. So managing those logistics perspective and other details, this is where the journey started. I would say at least for the next
4 or 5 years,
we would see more adoption in terms of digital in this particular segment. Traditionally, healthcare, pharma, biotech, they are, I would say, digitally laggards. They've never been a leader because of the regulatory environment they work in. It's not very easy to adopt new technologies. But COVID made some progress, I mean, helped these companies to make some progress to help the stakeholders understand the need of it. It is not an option, I would say, it is becoming more of a necessity going forward. Uh, Companies like Pfizer, AstraZeneca in the US, Novartis, they are successfully implementing a lot of these digital technologies in their pharma value chain. I see a lot of these being adopted within India market as well. So be it more of a, I would say, personalized care perspective, preemptive, and in some cases preemptive care perspective. So the entire value-based care chain is changing into more of a preventive care value chain. And standard policies, consumer policies are changing into I would say, individualized, customized policies. So now that we see a lot of acceptance towards digital, I mean, there were some issues or I would say some distrust among the stakeholders about the technology itself. Does it work? Or what kind of performance can we expect? Today we see that the adoption is much faster. I would say almost 66 to 67% of the major organizations across the globe are adopting digital without any of the conservation that they had earlier. But the important aspect of this entire digital adoption is to understand the digital culture. Traditionally, the way we treat a human workforce, right? You have a particular skill sets, you look for the people in the market, you hire them, and then you continue to build their career through training programs and other policies that you have. Similarly, the digital workforce has to be treated. It is not a implementation or a threat to your human workforce. It's actually going to augment your human workforce, right? So everywhere we go, we see a lot of reservation, a lot of insecurity among the people, which I found uh, needs to be taken care of through some of these understanding or spreading the digital culture among the company. So a digital workforce must be treated very similar to how you treat a human workforce. They are taking care of a particular business transformation, and exactly the same way today a human workforce is taken care of, right? So that creates a new set of skill sets that needs to be addressed. The organization need to spend more in terms of the change management, how to bring about these changes, how to adopt these changes within the organization, and let the employees know that they can continue to learn new skills and start helping the organization in a better way, and let this automation led addition to the company take care of the rule based repetitive tasks. So at Iro, we come across multiple different organizations at different digital maturity level, right? There are organizations that they are starting their digitalization journey. There are some others who have started this journey 2 3 years back, quite matured, right? So how we are helping them in a way is basically, if see, the journey is very different to both of these examples, right? In the first case, they have not yet started their journey. They are looking to get some advisory support, how to start, and so we help them basically doing some process mining, understanding where to start, the low hanging fruits, I would say, because the stakeholders needs to be managed, their expectation need to be met. So we do realize that, and we start with the baby steps, doing some kind of education, doing exactly what is expected out of this digitalization, and identifying some small scale implementation. And once they start getting the benefits, the ROI is realized, we go for a much bigger scale implementation. For a more matured organizations, it's very interesting that they are already working with vendors or consultants like us, and there is a trend of doing to or implementing this digitalization within the organization, right? They want to be more self-reliant, but the problem here is that the talent, the digital or technical talents, right? And at the same time, there is some, I would say, gap between the IT and digital stakeholders, right? So we came up with a very unique platform. What we call is called Omni. Is basically intelligent automation coach and playground. Right? You can ask your, or you can create a corporate training program where you can let your employees learn about digital technologies, but in order to deliver for them, they need a playground where they can just jump in and start, I would say, DIY solutions, do it yourself solutions. So that piece is the most important, what we call the playground. So that is what we have created in a SaaS based platform. And at the same time, there is again a coaching aspect to it, a 24 by 7 a help desk where anyone needs some support, they can get it done, right? And over the last 3 4 years, we have built uh, a library of digital assets. What we call is Airo Hub, where we have more than 200 such pre-built prototypes. So that gives a lot of understanding, what to automate, what are the best processes for me to start with. Nobody wants to reinvent the wheel. They want to see, okay, have you done this before? And what kind of benefits do you get? And then it seems okay for me to start with. So that is again, and those all those prototypes and others are already available within this particular platform. So the idea is, to make, in order to get to a state, what we call the future state of this automation, the intelligent enterprise, it has to be in-house. You cannot, no vendor can help you getting you to that particular state. So we're helping the organizations, for mature organizations, to start the playground and build your own solution, make towards that digital enterprise, do it by yourself.